Hi there, I'm Miss Maisie. I'm a teen librarian with the Naperville Public Library, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make an organic rainbow keychain. Let's get started. For this craft, you'll need 3 wires. The first wire should be about 3.25 inches, the next one 3.5, and the third one 3.75. You'll need a keychain loop. You'll need embroidery floss in 3 colors. You'll need some neutral colored thread or twine. I recommend this being thicker than your embroidery floss. You'll need a pair of scissors. You'll need some school glue. And finally, you'll need some Scotch tape. The first thing we're going to do is take our wires and separate them out from each other. It's helpful to have them flat so you know which one's the shortest and which one's the longest. We're going to start by taking our cord and one of our wires, measuring out the cord so it's a little bit longer than each wire, and then cutting it. I recommend having your wire have at least about ½ an inch on either side on the cord. For each wire, you'll cut 3 pieces of cord that are that length. Again, you'll want 3 pieces of cord that are a little bit longer than each piece of wire. You'll do this for all 3 wires. Once we have our cord cut, we're going to grab our tape. You'll want to line up all the ends of your cord and your piece of wire. Again, you want ½ an inch on either side. You're going to take your tape, break off a piece, and then you're going to wrap it around the end of your wire so your cord is still loose, but your wire's kind of embedded in there. This will make it a lot easier to add color to our rainbow. You'll just roll it around there. Then you'll do the same thing to the other side. So you'll make a bundle that looks like this. You'll do that for all 3 wires. And you'll notice some of them, the strings don't line up exactly at the end. That is fine. We will take care of that when we're in a later stage. We're going to start by grabbing our longest bundle of twine and wire, and then whatever color we want to be on the outside loop of our rainbow. We're going to start by tying a knot at the base of your tape on one end of your string. With your knot, you'll have a little bit of a tail. Don't worry about it. We're gonna pull that back so it's facing towards the center of the rainbow. And then we're going to start wrapping tight loops around the base of the rainbow, kind of going up as we go. You'll notice there the tail's kind of getting worked in to the base of the rainbow. If you have any gaps, you can always just weave or loop your way back down, or you can always push it with your fingers. And we're going to keep wrapping until we have the whole thing covered. Once you're to the end of your bundle, you're going to wrap it again. I recommend wrapping it around your fingers. You've got a large loop, bringing the tail through that large loop, and then pulling it tight. You'll notice you still have a tail on this end. I would recommend trimming it till you've got about an inch left. And then we're done with our first arch. And we will take care of this bit at the end. We'll do the same thing with our middle arch. And finally, we'll do the same thing with our smallest arch. Of the leftover material you have, you should have the most of whatever color you used on your bottom arch. That makes sense since it's the smallest one. What we're going to do now is grab our largest arch and a keychain loop. We're going to start by taking our leftover material, folding it in half, once, and then twice because we want it to have a nice stability. We're going to go through the center top. We're going to go around the top arch. Grab your keychain loop and thread it on here. Once you've got it to about the length you want, I would recommend having it fairly close to the actual rainbow. You're going to tie a knot, leaving it kind of loose, and then tie a double knot. And then we're going to trim the edges of this so they're about just a little past flush. You'll notice this can still wiggle back and forth. We will take care of that in just 1 minute. You should now have 3 arches of all, slightly bigger than one another as they go up. You'll want to line them up so the side with the extra tail are all on the same side. We're going to kind of press them together, making sure we line up the edges of the rainbow. And then we're going to bend them as a whole into the shape of the rainbow. So you're just going to give them a curve. Our next step is going to be gluing them together. So you do want to make sure you have your bend done now, just because it's much harder to bend them once they're glued. This is also a great chance if you notice, like here I have an empty spot. You can kind of smush around your yarn or your thread to have it cover a little bit better. We're going to start by grabbing our top 2 loops and our school glue. The first thing we'll do is add a layer of school glue to our largest loop, just at the base, so you can use that glue to smooth that excess on. I personally also like doing this by getting a little glue in my fingertips, just to kind of have it stick and I can manipulate it a little bit better. You want it to be on the bottom part of the loop. Then we'll do the same thing with our middle loop. Just a little bit of glue, spread it on your finger and smooth it out. Make sure this keychain loop is lined up how I want it. I want my little tied bow at the top. And then I'm going to add glue to the inside of this arch. My tip with any time you use school glue is you frankly probably need a little more glue than you expect. Now we're going to line it up, line up the edges, and push it together. We're going to grab our smallest arch and we're going to do the same thing, except with this extra tail, we're going to wrap it so it sits on top. So a little bit of school glue. Wrap it right up top. Then we're going to take our middle loop, add a layer of school glue. Again, you probably want more than you expect. Line up our arch in the ends, and then we're going to press it tight. Now, I have found that it takes a little bit longer to dry than you expect. So it can be useful to grab another piece of tape and wrap it around the edges to help stick them together while they dry. And while it's drying, not after it's dried, if you need to adjust your rainbow, this is kind of your last chance to adjust it while it dries. And then, so you've got it pressed together and pressed flat. Something else you can do while it dries is take the ends of your thick twine and unravel them so it has a more full dynamic shape for the clouds at the base of your rainbow. It's pretty easy to unravel them. You just pull on the separate edges to pull them and untwist them. And you'll do that for every loop of your rainbow. Once you've got all of the edges unwound, you can take your scissors and trim them so they're all roughly the same length, which will help it have a more consistent look. And now you'll set it aside to dry. Once it's dry, you can remove the tape, attach it to your backpack, and enjoy. If you like this and other colorful crafts, you'll want to make sure to join us this year for our summer reading program, Reading Colors Your World. You can learn more on our webpage now. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you join me again soon for another craft. Thanks!